afternoon. Good evening. Good evening. It's yoga at 6 o'clock with Karen from Recovery Fitness. How is everyone this evening? Just wait a few minutes before we get started. And share my video. Just trying to figure out how to do this every single time. It's so gorgeous out. Feeling the nice breeze in the window, trees blowing in the breeze. Okay, so if I share more options. I think I got it. Hi, Serena. I'm trying to share, you know how I always try to do that. And I always have a problem. So okay, yoga. Next. Share. All right. So we're just going to do some. So we're just going to do some gentle yoga tonight. Regular practice. But I did the heart chakra last week, right? Or no? We did the root chakra last week. And so, and Serena, you do a lot of different yoga classes. So sometimes you go to a class where they use a lot of Sanskrit for the poses. And actually we went to that stand-up paddle yoga last week, I think. And so that teacher there used some Sanskrit. I think there was one that I either didn't hear her right or I was not familiar. But I fell in the water 3 times, so there's that. So stand-up yoga on a paddleboard is so different than doing yoga on the hard floor, I gotta tell you. I'm just so used to doing it and being in, the pose the way that I've learned, and on a paddleboard you're trying to find your balance, and your feet have to be further apart, and I kept trying to bring them together and do what I know, and I fell in 3 times. So I'm going back to learn some more. But anyway, so last week I was talking about, so when we start out our yoga practice, we're sitting in an easy pose, which is Sukhasana. I'm just going to go over a few. Child's pose is Balasana. garland pose, which is Malasana, was the one where we're on our, putting our arms in between our knees and squatted down. That was Malasana. Uttanasana is a standing forward fold. And Tadasana, now that's a standing, or mountain pose, Tadasana. And Uttanasana asana is chair pose. Virabhadrasana is warrior two. So I don't typically use Sanskrit, but I like to use it once in a while because it is a beautiful, one of the oldest languages in our history, over 5,000 years old. And so it is a beautiful flowing language, and that's why it was used back in the day. Oh yes, it is funny, isn't it, Serena? Me falling in the water. One time I fell. I could feel I was going down, and so I plugged my nose and went back, and I actually hurt my butt in my back because I'm not a big fan of the water. I like being on it and around it, but I get a little scared. So I threw my anchor, because you have to have an anchor on the paddleboard so the class can stay together. So I threw my anchor on the shore so I wouldn't go too far. But that bit me in the butt, because then I fell off and I fell on the rocks. So next time I'm going to try to be a little more brave. But yeah, it was fun. So let's get started. We'll start in our seated position. Oh, I'm going to fall off my block. Jeez. Pull this a little closer. My dad used to call me Grace. Just a little bit of information. So find your way to a seated position. Nice and tall, shoulders back and down. Finding our breath as we inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Three big breaths here as finding our way to the present moment, going within, releasing the day, just focusing on right now. And then 3 inhales as we sweep our arms up and exhaling to heart center. And 1 more. Good. And then let's bring our arms up. Inhale deeply, and bring that right arm to the left knee, left arm behind us. Couple breath here to the left. Inhale, arms back up. Exhale, left hand, right knee, right arm behind us, turning to the right side of the room. Couple breath. Back up. And releasing the arms down. Let's go ahead and release our left arm down. Bring the right arm up and over. Bringing that right bicep over the right ear. So if we're forward, we can come back. Shoulders going back. Feel a nice stretch all along the right-hand side of our body. And bringing the right arm around and bringing the left arm up and over. Keeping that left hip down. let's flow from side to side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, bringing it back. Let's inhale the arms up again and go side to side from our right hand, left knee. Inhale back up. Other side. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Back to center. And bring the back of the hands together as we begin to loosen up the wrists a little. So we back of the hands together and then we twirl at the wrist. Just loosening up the wrists and then going the other way. And release. And then let's go ahead and find our way to the floor, onto tabletop. So we're finding our feet flat, hips over our knees, shoulders, elbows, wrists stacked. Nice neutral spine, and then we're going to inhale, bringing the chin up. Tilting that tailbone up and the tailbone up. Engage as we press spine to the ceiling. Exhale. Inhale into cat or cow. Exhale. Nice fluid movement. So moving with your own breath. At your own pace. You could be going faster than me or slower, and it's all good. Nice movement for the lower back. Engaging the core as we press spine to the ceiling. Good. And then pressing back into Balasana or Child's Pose. Releasing the knees wide and then lowering down. Releasing the forehead to the floor. Reaching the arms forward. And then taking a few breaths in Child's Pose or Balasana. And coming all the way back up. And coming into spinal balance. So taking that left leg straight back and reaching the right arm forward as you inhale. Exhale, bring it down and go into the other side. So again, following your own breath. Engaging the core here for balance. Pressing that heel toward, as if you could put your foot right up against the back wall. Keeping our hips parallel to the floor. And just feeling that energy from our fingertips as we reach forward and all the way to our heel of our foot as we press back. Following our own rhythm of breath. And one more time on each side, being even. And then pressing back again into Balasana. So knees are wide, reaching forward, releasing the forehead down. Couple of breaths. Let's go ahead and pick up our head and walk our hands to the right side. And then release our head back down. Just feel that stretch all along the left side of our torso. breathing. And then we're going to walk our way to the other side. Right hand over left. Feel that stretch all along the right side. Walking it back. I'm going to turn around. So let's come into our kneeling plank. I'm going to press this back. So we're going to come from child up into kneeling plank. Exhale with our elbows in all the way down, crocodile or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale all the way back to child. So we're going to inhale into kneeling plank and we're going to hold here. We're pressing away from the floor so our shoulders we're not sagging our body, but we're pressing away from the floor. Our core is engaged here and we're breathing. And as we come into crocodile or chaturanga, we're bending our elbows and keeping them close to our ribs as we come all the way down. And then inhale into cobra, low cobra, pointing our toes, hands up. If you want to come into up dog, we can come pressing away from the floor, finding our way onto the tops of our feet for up dog, and then pressing back into child. And then preparing for our first down dog, we're going to curl the toes under and then press up into down dog. So we're pressing our fingers are wide and we're pressing into the mat away. We're pressing away from the mat. We're rotating those shoulders out and down our back. Shoulder blades down the back. Our knees can be bent as we find some length in the back of our legs. Our sit bones pointed to the ceiling on our bottom. Walking it out. Couple more breaths. And from here we're going to walk our way all the way up and find ourselves in a forward fold. We're going to grab our elbows and just hang in ragdoll. So knees are slightly bent. And gently rocking from one side to the other. And coming back to center. Really breathing into the back of the legs. Feeling that stretch. Releasing our arms down. We're going to inhale, halfway up, straight back. Exhale, back down, forward fold, and then we're going to come all the way up, chin to chest as we find our way. Inhale, arms wide. Arms, hands together, and gently back. And then release. And finding our way in Tadasana, or mountain pose. So here we'll find our strength as we picture a steady, planted, rooted tree. And bringing that right leg as we kickstand into our tree pose. We can bring our hands together. And we can stay right here with our foot, or we can begin to walk it up our leg and on our calf or even on our thigh, avoiding the knee. We find our focal point, our drishti, as we focus and stare to that point, engage the core for balance, and then finding our way all the way up into tree, with our arms up if you want to. And if we come out of our tree, we just come right back up into it. And release. And give it a shake. Prepare for the other side. Again, finding Tadasana, or our mountain pose. The strength of our mountain pose. Nice and tall. And then bringing that left leg in and beginning to root ourselves through that right foot, rooted in the ground, finding our drishti, our focal point, and focusing and staring at that one point helps with our balance, engaging our core, and focusing on our breath. Inhale, arms all the way up for a full expression of our tree if you want to. And we're breathing. Maybe recognizing one side is a little more challenging than the other. And that's okay. Acknowledging that and moving on. And then release and shake that out. Can't see my head. So finding our mountain pose, coming back to the front of our mat, shoulders back and down, pressing the sides of our feet, the heels of our feet into the floor, feeling rooted. And then taking our left leg and coming back into our warrior two. So our left foot comes all the way down, right knee bent over the right ankle, hands to heart center. Inhale deeply. And exhale for warrior two arms. So we're reaching forward and reaching back, shoulders back and down. Engaging the core, tilt the tailbone down just a little. Looking over our right fingers, finding our drishti here. And thinking about as if we could pull our feet together here, engaging the legs, feeling those muscles engaged. And turning right palm up to the ceiling. And bringing it all the way up. Bringing that left arm behind for a partial bind if you want to. Right knee bent. And then coming all the way over, right forearm on the right thigh, left hand on the hip. And then opening and bringing left arm straight up. Couple breath here. And we're going to go ahead and inhale back up into our warrior two arms. Straightening the right leg. And hinge forward as we reach forward. And then release that right arm down, left arm up. Keeping the hips forward and the shoulders back. Breathing into the stretch all along the inside of that right leg. And engage the core as we bring it back up and release the arms. Bring that right foot in. So while we're here, we'll point the toes out just a little bit. Bring the hands to the hips and then fold forward, straight back. Feeling this in the hamstrings. Nice stretch there. So we're hinged right at the hip, folding forward. I'll turn this way. And then let the arms walk down the legs. And then come forward as far as you can. You can release your hands to the floor, to a block. Or you can hold your ankles anywhere on your legs. Just feel the stretch here and breathe into that nice stretch in the back of the legs. Maybe even walk your hands back if you have that today. And then gently, hands on the legs and bringing it back up. We'll come back here. Shake it out. And then we're going to do the other side. So we're going to bring that left knee over the left ankle and angle that right foot forward. And coming into our Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana, Warrior 2. Inhale. And then exhale the arms out for Warrior 2 arms. So the challenge here can be the wider the legs, the wider you go, the more challenge you'll have in this pose. So that's all up to you, how wide you want to go. Engage those legs as you feel them pull together, as if you could pull your feet together. Tilt the tailbone down, shoulders back and down. Knee is over our left ankle. Left palm up to the ceiling. Inhale all the way up. Maybe our right arm partial binds behind us. Engage that core. Couple breath here. And bring it around. Bringing that left forearm to our left thigh, right hand to our hip. Open up that chest. And then bringing right arm up. Breathing. Maybe we're hanging on our leg here, or we can open that left arm for leverage as we open up a little more. Breathing, learning to breathe through the challenges in our practice helps us in our everyday life. So breathing, making sure we're breathing through any of the challenges we have tonight. Engaging the core as we bring it back up. And straighten that left leg. Reaching, hinging at the hip as we reach the left arm forward. And then left arm down, right arm up. Keeping the hips forward, shoulder back. Again, if this is a challenge, we're engaging the core here. We're breathing. If you hold your breath, then come out of it, out of the pose, and regroup and come back in it. It's all about the breath. Engaging the core as we come back up and release the arms. And then bringing those toes. Now we'll do our moonflower, sunflowers. So our toes are going towards the corner of our mats. Sorry, my head's chopped off. I can't see my feet. Alright, so sunflowers. Toes pointed to the corners. Inhale, arms straight up like a star. And then exhale, swoop. Inhale up. Exhale, squat down. Couple more of these. Press as we come up. And then next one we'll do moonflowers. Inhale up. Exhale, elbows down. Inhale up. Exhale, elbows. couple more of these. All the way up and release. And shake it out here. So we'll come into Utkatasana, which is our chair pose. So Utkatasana is one of the ones we did on the paddleboard that I fell. That was the first one I fell in the water. Because when I do my chair pose, so you can have your feet apart for chair pose or together. So I like to do a chair pose with my feet apart. So where we inhale, press our hips back and our arms reach up. So we are pressing our hips back and we're putting our weight on our heels, in our heels. Our arms, our biceps, we want to try to get parallel to our ears or at the same point. We can also keep our hands at heart center. Or we can bring our arms forward. So whatever way is comfortable for you. So, but when we do a twist from our Utkatasana, I like to have my feet together because it does something. It helps with my balance. So with our body in our chair pose, and we're going to bring our left elbow on the outside of the right knee. We're going to inhale first, because then when we exhale, we can get a better twist. So inhale, and then exhale, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Now, certainly, we can just do this. So this is challenging right here. But you can bring that elbow on the outside. For now, I'll just do this. So I'm getting hot. Whew, this is a challenge. Come back to center. Let's go ahead and inhale and release the arms. Before we go to the other side, so on the paddleboard, I had my feet together because that's how I know to do a chair twist, right? Well, on a paddleboard, the center of gravity is different and you want to be legs wide. So that's how I fell in the first time, because my feet were together and I was trying to do a twist and I just went plunk right in the water. But let's do the other side of our chair twist. So coming into our chair again, pressing our hips back, weight on our knees, hands to heart center. We're going to bring that right elbow to the outside of the left knee. So we're going to inhale and then exhale, twist over. So here again, you might find a difference from side to side. Maybe this side's more challenging or not. But again, we can always bring our hands higher. And I'm like sweating, and even at that point. So let's bring it back up, shake it out. Whew. So that's your Utkatasana chair pose and lesson in case you ever go on a paddleboard. So let's bring it down to the floor. So we're going to come into our boat pose. We're going to find our sit bones, find our nice straight back as we reach our arms forward, and then picking up our feet off the floor and straightening the legs to the degree that is comfortable for you today, but also challenging, right? We want some challenge. We don't want to feel pain, but we want to have some challenge in our practice. And breathing. And bringing our hands together, we'll do 20 from side to side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8,
10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Whew. Bringing the hands behind the knees as we slowly bring it all the way down to the floor. Bringing the knees into the chest for a nice hug. Wrapping the arms around the knees, around the legs. And giving yourself a gentle rock here. A little massage on the lower back. Release the feet flat, keeping our knees bent, and prepare for our bridge pose. So our arms along the side of our body, our feet pressing into the floor. And inhale. Press the hips up. And we can walk our shoulders, clasp our hands if we want to as we press our feet into the floor. And breathe into our bridge pose, controlling our body here, our pose. Finding our breath. Nice fluid breath. Couple more. And releasing the hands. And slowly bringing the back down. Bringing the knees up. Another gentle rock. So if you have a block, place it under your hips for legs up the wall, or you can come right up to a wall with a towel. You can use a towel here as well. And just bringing their legs straight up for a couple of breaths here, cooling down the body. Couple more breaths. Bending the knees, replacing the feet to the floor, flat feet, and then removing your block. Let's go ahead and open our arms out to a T for some twists. Right leg over left, crossed at the knees. And then let those legs float to the left of the body as we turn our head to the right for a nice big twist. Shoulders are on the floor. Breathing into this big twist. Taking advantage by some nice deep breath. Taking advantage of our twists. And engage the core to come back up and switch left over right at the knee, and then letting those legs float to the right and turning our head to the left for a twist on the other side, breathing. And engaging our core as we bring those legs back up. And we're going to come into Shavasana, or final relaxation. So you can just release all the way down to the floor, palms up to the ceiling. You can put your feet together for a supine butterfly, or you can put a towel under your knees. So wherever you're comfortable for just a few minutes, get comfortable. take a few minutes to let our body absorb our practice tonight. Finding our breath, coming back to our normal cadence. Taking a few deep breaths through the nose to ground yourself and to start calming the mind. Feeling your sit bones on the ground and the connection that goes with that as you're lying in your supine position. Know that you're supported. Feel that groundedness and connection. So imagining your roots growing from your root chakra, the bottom of your spine, right? Imagine roots growing from that root chakra into the earth. And imagine the roots digging deep towards the center of the earth. And take your time to stay connected to your breath and keep the spine lengthened as you visualize these roots from your root chakra meandering down to the center of the earth. Feel a groundedness with that visualization. Keeping your breathing steady and just enjoying that feeling of groundedness. You can also visualize the roots expanding in the earth, connecting with other roots. We're all connected. Take a few deep breaths. And as we talked about Sanskrit tonight, one meaningful word that we can use as a mantra is Shanti, which means peace, rest, calmness, tranquility, or even bliss. So 3 times we'll say that in our mantra. Inhale, Shanti, 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 as we exhale. And then pointing your toes and reaching your arms up over your head for a nice stretch from toes to fingertips, feeling the length of your body from our practice tonight. Bringing the knees into your chest, giving yourself one last hug. And turning to your side as you press up into a seated position to join me. As we end our practice for tonight, we'll do one last inhale all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. And close with Namaste. Awesome. I hope you had a good practice. And join me on Thursday at 6 o'clock if you can. Thank you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.